Welcome back to the second podcast with Raghav Dixit. With Raghav Dixit, I have discussed a lot of questions in the first podcast as well. So if you are new to this channel and coming to this video directly, I would ask you to go and check out the first podcast of Raghav Dixit, in which we have discussed the following questions.
So do you think coming to Ireland at this stage with no experience, for a fresher I'm saying, would be a good choice? That IT, pharma and finance are the only three booming industry. Other than that, it's still like not a lot of scope. That like if it's a booming market, why are still people struggling in those three sectors also? And do you think would be a right choice for someone to think and go back to their own country?
So let's not waste time and dive in straight away to the second podcast with Raghav Dixit.
So like when you say like a 2-year plan, which is something I also work on before like previous podcast, I have also started jotting down like what is the end point. Okay, let's say people have an end point also, like they come here for 1 year study, then they have 2 years of post-study visa there. Like 1 year they're figuring out, second year they're like more target focused that what exactly they need to achieve by end of the year. Targets are easy to write down and memorize. This is what I need to do. What are the steps? When I say what are the steps, like job market, I have heard a lot of people around me, they're like, हम हर दिन इतनी जॉब भर रहे हैं, ठीक है, या इतना में इतना bulk filling is the most what people are doing, and bulk rejections is also they are getting. Like then there is another set of people who say like quality jobs, like just fill up the quality jobs and make your CV according to it and do like that. So is it bulk like applying or quality applying? What exactly do you think is a mixture? There should be a small mixture between them, or how is that target to achieve to get a job of 44,000, let's say 2025?
Okay, so my answer to your question is that question itself.
Okay.
If everybody is digging gold, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So if everybody is digging gold,
yeah,
you won't be digging gold. You will be selling shovels.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if the whole world is digging gold, then you are going to sell the shovels. This is how you operate.
Yeah.
So if everybody is doing a bulk job, because what happens that when there are hundreds of people in the job market, all they do is fast work, quick work, too much of the work. This is what they do, and this is a suboptimal practice. This is an okay practice, but this is a suboptimal practice. It won't give you much things.
Okay.
And I said you before that Ireland is a market where everybody knows everyone. Everybody knows everyone. I would suggest that if you're looking back for a good job, okay, and this is what I've told a lot of people who are my customers at Career Island.
Yeah.
So I tell them that number one, there are 3 rules to it. Okay. Number 1 rule, and this is for all your audience, that always start from the day one. The moment you land up in Ireland and the moment you started your university program, you start looking forward that what does employers demand. And with respect to that job market, how much do you qualify for? That's number 1 thing. Second thing is that do not keep up your job search in the last day of your program. That means you are completing the masters and then you are starting your job search. You are extremely late on that. When I was doing my MBA, I started looking forward for jobs on the day 1 when I landed in Ireland. The day 1 when I started my Trinity program. And the result was that by the end of June or July, I had 6-7 jobs in my hand. And people ask that, how come you are getting jobs so early? I say that I have not got jobs so early. I've got my job 9 months late. And that's the number 1 thing is that you start early. Number 2 thing is that you fill up the gaps. You see that why you are not qualified for. You have the master's degree. As I said before, you have 3 years of experience before coming in over here. And during the master's program, if you are doing some right amount of certifications, during the master's program, if you are connected with some good companies, with some industry mentors, this is what people look for.
Okay.
So you go back and you apply all these techniques. You look forward that how you can. So the biggest thing that employers look forward is that how you are going to help their organization in a certain way. There are 3 things that always employers look forward, and either as a candidate, if you're able to save the cost, or if you are able to earn more revenues for them, or if you are able to handle their customers very effectively. If you can show this one of these activities, then you will be up for the job market. I have mentored so many people, and any person who can prove that he can do any one of these activities, he has always got the job. So some things needs to be done. You do it, and there is a good chance you should be able to get jobs then.
And like when you talk about making connections, okay, connections that I also tell people, networking, Ireland is small, you know people. Let's say people know you, okay, you have a person who knows you, who they have seen this video, they come to you. You are a connection, you have been here for a very long time, and you have this whole entrepreneurship and everything. If a person comes to you for a help, how are you guiding this person, taking into consideration the connections of Ireland? Like if you are my connection, how would you suggest me, Pranav, this is the way, what like how to Career Ireland, let's say, help out students or people searching for jobs or anyone in some way or the other to land somewhere, or maybe just show them a way how exactly things need to be done?
Well, what we do is that we first understand that so the biggest problem that people face is that they are not very sure that which job they would like to go into.
That's true.
That's one of the biggest problems. So they are not sure that they go into A or they are going to B. Most of the people who come to Ireland, they are fuzzy in terms of that. They are not sure which type of role they need to go into. That's one thing. Second thing is that I help them in terms of understanding that it's not important that where you want to land up. More important thing is that practically where employers will see you fit into their organization. So that needs to be considered first. Second, what should be your preposition of selling? If you want to be a data analyst, if you want to be a business analyst, in that case, you need to be sure that what you are selling to the people. So people need to understand that if they're buying you in 44K or 38K, in that case, how you are going to practically help them. So the preposition that you call it as a CV or a resume, it should be clearly laid out that this is the way I'm going to help your business. This is the way I'm going to help you solve your problems. This is something that people need help, and this is what I can do for them. And the other and the most important thing is that many people do good things. So when we say that, there's a famous saying that your perception is more important than your reality. And I've seen people with good years of experience that experience is good, but their perception is really bad because they are not able to outlay their experience into that perception.
That's true.
So we need to carve out the good things that we have done and tell people very vocal about it, that this is what I have done and this is what I bring forward. So the best qualities out of you. Another thing that I say that basically I try to put forward their best foot forward. That this is your best foot and this is then you need to go forward. And these are the best strategies for someone selling in the market. So if you're looking forward for jobs, think like a sales agent. Don't think like a business analyst or digital marketer or a data analyst. Think like a sales agent, that what does market demands and how you can fill the things fill.
Do you think there is a saying in Ireland lately when I'm around people who are searching for jobs that luck matters? Luck really matters. A person having 5 years of experience, he's not getting, but a person just got a graduate role because he was a fresher. Look, okay, this is the graduate scheme. Let's say 2 years experience, he got a job, and they are like, oh, he had a luck. That's why he got it. Is it a luck, or the person who got the job knew exactly what exactly I'm doing?
So I'll just twist it a bit more. Okay, because somehow I agree. The key thing is that, and I have seen it personally. Some of you might have seen it personally. It's good that you hold talent, but many times you'll see that people who are not talented, they get the jobs first. And you see in every batch that people. And few exceptions are there, but mostly the people who are not very talented, who are not very knowledgeable, they get the jobs first, and people wonder that how much they have done it. And I would say that people who do not focus on very tiny things of the academics or anything, they focus more into their networking. They speak out with people, they go out with people, they talk to people, they meet people, they greet people, and in this way they make a very good network. And in this networking part, a lot of people who are nerds, a lot of people who works on the projects, they fail. And that's the problem. So either you can get a job based on the open market rules, or you can get the jobs on the basis of referrals and networks. So if you are, but you need to be in one of the category.
Makes
and
sense.
the biggest problem is that people fall in between the two buckets.
Either
you go into one or you go into two, but you can't be 1.5. That's where the problem is.
And sorry, you're continuing.
No, that's what I say is luck. People call it as a luck, but I would say that power of networking. And there are two candidates. Candidate A, like me, who has got good network, little knowledge. Candidate B, very good knowledge, low network. Probably I'll get job first and you'll get later. Because networking is one of the very key things that happens in Ireland.
What are the, I would say, key 3 things to keep in mind when you're networking with someone? Because you don't want to sound as in ki mujhe job de do to someone. You need to build that relation.
So I get lots and lots of requests on LinkedIn every day. Okay. And one of the worst things, and bear that in mind, that I always try to help people whenever they come back, because I see that if person is coming back to me, he's expecting something.
True.
But when people come back, the first thing they write to me is that, hi Raghav, this thing, and can you help me with referrals? So basically the thing is that they come back and ask for something. Which might be a good thing for them. But it would be an awkward thing for me, because if 50 people coming back to me in a day,
the same thing.
I may not be able to respond to all of them. So the key thing is that the focus would be how you can contribute your value to my organization. The key thing over here. Always do not understand this thing that when you make the network with people, you are building up a relationship. You don't have to sell people. Okay, people like to be helped, don't like to be sold. Okay, so if you try to sell yourself in certain areas or certain ways, or you try to extract something out of them, they are not going to do anything for you. For example, you come back and ask me that, Raghav, can I have a virtual coffee with you for 15 minutes? Why would I do that? Because you are taking 15 minutes of my family time, which I'm never going to get back in my life. Why should I give it to you? Unless. So you need to understand the relationship of giving and taking. If you are taking something, what are you giving in offer? So you need to be very much concrete. Understand that you can give 3 things to them. Okay. Either give them appreciation, okay, and respect. That I see that you have been a role model in certain areas. You have done really good work, and you research about the person that what they have been vocal for. Because every good leader, they're always vocal about one thing. For example, if you talk about me, I'll be very vocal about careers. Some other person in sales might be vocal about AI. Somebody will be very much vocal about building organization culture. Somebody will be vocal about women in leadership. So every other leader is very much vocal about something. So you understand that vocal point, that what he's interested about, and then you talk about this, that how you share your opinion with them. Or if a business leader is vocal about their products, you talk about their products, that this product, for example, you compare the products with their competitor and talk about them, that I have evaluated your products and I see that this is where I want to give a feedback to you, or anything of that sort. That could be one way of taking the hook or taking the interest from people. The second way is that you go back and tell them that what you can offer to them, because there are many people, just understand that no matter how competitive the market is, employers are always looking forward for cutting edge people who have really good to contribute. So if you have something good to contribute, mention about that. For example, if you are a project manager, you can talk about that you are a certified project manager, Scrum, Agile, PMP, or whatever it is. If you're a BA, if you're a DA, talk about this. That you have, if you're a digital marketer, if you have got a good profile, you talk about that, what kind of projects you have been working on, and show them that how they relate to their business. People are, as I told you before, that people are interested in three things. You save the cost, you increase their revenue, or you handle their customers very well. So if these three things you can talk about, you will be making a good connection point. Do not sell yourself at the day one. Build relationship first and then offer something for them and then get in return. That's the best way of doing back.
So like currently, coming back to the very initial question of the podcast, there like the journal skill has increased, the critical skill has increased. But we have also seen there has been increase in roles as well. Like in journal skills, I think they have 33 new roles.
33 new roles,
and
yes.
11 in critical skill. But when I read about those 33 roles, they are mostly, I would say, the labor work, if that's the right term to say, as in like a meat cutters or maybe hairdresser and something like that.
Not hairdresser, I guess.
Like
meat cutters, painters,
yeah, things like that. And 11 roles.
Mechanical, technicians and all that, yes.
So do you think like, is Ireland focusing more on like journal skill, if we say about the labor jobs? Ireland has a more focus, or like they need a qualified people as well? What's the difference? Like, is that 33 new roles? Would you say like it would impact or be in someone's dream job to be into that? Not dream job, but like a job market to crack in those 30.
Do you have a car?
I do.
Have you taken your car to a service center?
Yeah.
And how much waiting period you had?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So, so the key thing is over there, Ireland has got a labor shortage for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And we had been labor shortage for, software engineering, AI and other things for years. But over the period of time, there is a huge mass of immigrants coming back for the skilled work. In last 5 to 8 years, I would say. So kind of they have filled that role. For example, if you take any critical skill like software engineer, cloud computing engineer, data analyst, you talk about these people, you open a job role, you get too many people over there. Now you go back for a meat cutter. Suppose you are into Super Value and you're looking back for a meat owner or meat cutter, or if you want to go back, if you want to get your car serviced and you need a technician for that, you won't get it. No, you won't get it. So what minister has done, that they have asked for the opinion in August, I guess. They asked an open opinion for all the entrepreneurs and different bodies, that what kind of critical skill and general work permit you want people to hire in. And the most people have shown this way, that they have got heavy vehicle, like heavy trucks, heavy vehicle drivers, meat cutters, and those people, they are not here. They're not here, and they can't find the local people over there. And there is a huge shortage for that. And that is the reason they have increased this up. However, I don't see it that for non-EU candidates, especially in the South Asian region, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and talking about core in India, I don't think so. It has got nothing to do with India, because Indians usually do not come here to cut the meat. They don't come here to painting of the car or to drive vehicles or something. They don't do it over here. So it's completely a not for use thing for us.
Definitely, because when I also read about that list, what first initial thought I had, I think this is for a European market. You know, like so people from Europe can,
people from Eastern Europe, Ukraine, and those areas, if they want to come in, it will be very, very beneficial for them. And I'll be very expressive over here. I have serious concern about the new thresholds, and in my personal opinion, I find it more detrimental rather than supportive for this. It might be good for a certain strata of people, but I would say that for freshers, for people for less than 3 years of experience, for people who are not into mainstream IT, pharma and technology, so IT, pharma and finance, it is going to be harsh for them.
And like so like this new thresholds and everything, obviously it's scaring as well, because like when I meet freshers, I feel like, okay, now the market, the standards are going hard. Like what I feel like, this is just a thought which I have seen over the news and all, whatever UK is doing right now, Ireland is just replicating the same things.
Everybody's saying the same.
Yeah, everyone like that's the other part, like UK also replicated the 1+2 visa that Ireland used to give, and that was the same. But like recently in UK, there's this new law that has come in, like for the dependent visa also. Now you can't just come for, if your husband or a wife is there on a dependent visa, you need to be in the university as well. You need to be in a study, something or the other. Do you think Ireland will in future want to go that road as well?
I really don't think. Although my personal opinion doesn't matter to anyone in the government, but I would say that it will not. Given that I'm sensing that we may not be very much open for immigration. Okay, so given that kind of things that we have seen, the changes in the threshold and other things, so immigration may not be very welcomed, or maybe this may be a wrong statement, but there will be I would say barriers to immigration that only qualified people will be coming over here, to be honest, and talking in that. I don't think so that government will be able to do that, or they will be willing to do that, just like what UK has done. They will keep up the same things. Maybe I would expect that certain things about immigration may go tighter, and this will go, but relaxing the immigration conditions, I really don't think so.
So the thresholds are increased now. Okay, 34, 38, everything is there. Are companies also welcoming this threshold, and they're like, okay, now we also need to increase? Or what is the mindset, do you think, of the current companies in Ireland would be?
Well, that's a very good question. I would say that this is a question of the day. First of all, inflation has not been that high that a salary of 30 will go back to 38. But there have been some reports over there that companies will be willing to increase the salary, but we don't have a hard data for that.